Hi, I'm Olivia and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought we could talk about some books that I am in the mood to read soon. I don't really want to do a TBR because I'm really bad about not following those. I'm a huge mood reader. So I figured we could do books that I'm currently in the middle of, books that I would like to get to soon, and I have them split into two different categories, one for continuation of series and then another one for just books I'd like to read soon. Okay, so let's start with the books that I'm currently in the middle of. So we have Skyward Flight by Brandon Sanderson. This is part of the Skyward series by him. I really, really love that series. I think it's really cool. I'm not a huge sci-fi reader, but for some reason, I love this. I'm on book 2, which is Read On. I'm almost done with it. I think I have less than 100 pages, so I need to finish it. I've just been in such a huge slump. Like, if I put a book down, I don't want to pick it back up for some reason, and it is bothering me. My attention span has been non-existent lately. So, yeah. All right, and then the other book that I'm currently in the middle of, which I don't think I have the page marked. I've been listening to the audiobook, but it's Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. This is really cute. It's an enemies to lovers. The only thing that I'm not liking about it is I think they have a past and it's not a great one. It seems like the girl has a lot of commitment issues. But I mean, it's good. The couple so far, their relationship and stuff is very interesting. It hasn't really started, so it's a slow burn, which I like, but I really don't enjoy books that go back and forth from the past and present timeline, because I always find myself enjoying one or the other better. And I've just been so anxious lately that any type of drama has been stressing me out. But I do like it so far. It's not bad. I just need to finish it. Okay, those are the two books that I'm currently in the middle of. I keep picking up books and putting them back down. I also started, which I don't have my Kindle with me, but I also started The Disappearance of Rachel Price, but I'm not very far into it. I don't know if I'm going to continue at this moment. I really loved A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, so I know I'm going to like it, and I just need something that's really going to suck me in and hold my attention. I just haven't found that lately. But let's get to the books that I would like to read soon. The highest books on my TBR, I guess you could say. And these are the ones that are in a series that I'm in the middle of. I have Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I read Divine Rivals like, I want to say 2 or 3 months ago, and I really liked it. I was shocked. It took me a while to get through, but I really enjoyed it. So I would like to pick this up and see what happens next in the series. I also have The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber, and I read The Curse for True Love, and I loved it. I love Jack, so I would like to pick this up soon. Me and my sister are kind of doing like a book club just with us two, and this is one of our books in our book club. We have 2. We have this one and another one I'm going to get to here in just a second. A Soul of Blood and Ash, or Ash and Blood. I get these titles so confused. They're all so similar. This is the one I'm up to in the series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I also have over here A Fire in the Flesh. This is the 3rd book in the prequel series that I need to read, but I would like to get to this one first. Ashes for the Star-Cursed King. I read Serpent in the Wings of Night not that long ago, and I loved it. It's probably one of the best fantasy books I've read in a while, so I really want to get to this one. It's just chunky, and like I said, my attention span has been non-existent lately, so it scares me a little bit at the moment. And then Glow by Raven Kennedy. I really, really loved this whole series so far, what I've read of it. I really like, what's his name? I can't think of the male love interest's name, but I love him. He was so interesting. He's like the king of rot, and I think that's such an interesting take on a world, and she's made of gold. If you've read it, you know, but this series has been super, super, super good so far. And then the last one in my series I'd like to continue is, I don't know what the name of the series is, but it's Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. I read One Dark Window. I want to say, once again, a couple months ago, around the same time that I read Divine Rivals, and this is one of my most favorite fantasies that I've read in a long time. It's probably going to be one of my favorites of all time. The world is just so interesting. It's so different than anything I've ever read before. I'm not really giving summaries on these books. I guess I probably should, but this one is about a girl who has a being in her head that exists in her head, and in this world, magic is outlawed. Like, you're not allowed to have magic. They come down with like a plague type disease, and it infects them and it can cause them to have magic. There's also like a card type system that has magic in it. I'm not doing a great job at explaining this, but it's really interesting, and it's so different than any world that I've ever read before. Okay, and then on to the ones that are not, I mean, they may be part of a series, but I haven't started that series yet, that I would like to get to soon. So we have Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Since I loved From Blood and Ash so much, I just really want to read this, and it sounds so interesting. I think it's about gods, and obviously it's a romantasy, but I'm sure it's going to be really, really good. And then a couple thrillers that I want to read soon. Like I said, I'm not a huge thriller reader, so we'll see if I actually get to them. But The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I don't know how you say his last name. Michaelides. But I read The Silent Patient by him, several years ago, whenever it first came out, and I was obsessed. I love that book. I made my husband read it, and he actually liked it too. But this one is something to do with like a famous, I don't know if it's an actress or just some type of famous person, and they go on a vacation, and then obviously murder happens. So I want to read The Fury. The Last Word by Taylor Adams. I haven't read anything by Taylor Adams yet, but I've heard this is really, really, really good. I think it's like Misery, but kind of in reverse. The author is the one that stalks the reader, but I've heard it's really good, so I would like to give this a shot. And The Jasad Heir. I do not know anything about this. I've just heard it is a pretty good romantasy. I know it's got magic in it. Other than that, I'm not aware, and I'm not going to read you the synopsis. I think that's boring. A Fragile Enchantment. Once again, romantasy. I think the prince falls in love with a seamstress, if I'm not mistaken, and then like the whole town is like against that or something. I'm not sure. I think the prince is pretty shy, but I've heard it's really good, and the cover is beautiful. I'm so excited. I haven't read anything by Allison Saft before, so I can't wait to give this a shot. And then this one was a cover by. I'm not a huge YA reader, but look at this cover. It is beautiful. So it's Where the Dark Stands Still by A.B. Poranek. I'm probably butchering that last name. I apologize. But it just is a beautiful cover, and I think it reminds me of Beauty and the Beast. Her name's Liska, and she goes into the forest for like a magical rose or something, and no one has ever been able to retrieve this magical rose. I think it like grants a wish or does something magical for you. And she ends up getting captured by a beast type creature. I think he's more fae. And she has to be held captive for so long with him, and then he will give her the rose. But I'm sure they're going to fall in love. But it's just such a beautiful cover. Okay. And then I'm so shocked I haven't read this yet, but Happy Place by Emily Henry. I think her new book came out yesterday. I didn't let myself pre-order it or buy it because I haven't read this yet. I really want to read a funny story by her. This one I'm a little nervous about because, once again, they have a history. I think they've broken up, and now they're going on vacation with their friends, and they haven't told their friends that they broke up, and they probably eventually fall back in love. But I don't like drama in relationships. I go into a story for a good time. Like, I just want to escape reality. I don't want to read about something sad and depressing. But Emily Henry is so good with characters. I always adore every one of her characters. I've given all of her books 5 stars, so I'm sure I'm going to love it. I'm just nervous about it. The Unmaking of June Farrow. I'm so excited for this. I loved Spells for Forgetting. I haven't read Fable. I probably should, because Spells for Forgetting was one of my favorite books that I read last year. I think it was last year. It was just so, once again, atmospheric. I've learned that that's one of my favorite tropes. It was witchy. It was just so cool. The setting reminded me a lot of The Wicked Deep that I told you guys about the other day. But this one seems like it has the same atmospheric type world, and once again, it's about Witches. So I know this is probably going to be a 5-star. I'm excited to read it. You guys are going to hate me, but I have not read Fourth Wing yet. I know. I can't believe it either. I've started it so many times, and every time I just set it back down. I don't know why. I know I'm going to love it. I love anything with dragons. If it's got a dragon in it, I'm probably going to buy it. So I need to read this soon so I can get on board with the hype train. Also, I can't believe I haven't read this yet. The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. The Cruel Prince is one of my all-time favorite series. I think I talked about it in my last video, but this is a spin-off series about Jude or Cardin's, I can't remember. Jude's brother, Oak, and he's like the prince now, and he falls in love with like a mer creature, I think. But I'm really excited to read this. And then I've heard nothing but good things about this book, Heartless Hunter. I know it's called The Crimson Moth as well in the UK. But once again, it's a romantasy. It was part of a book club by these girls I watch on TikTok, Chris and Maddie, and I didn't get to it in time. Once again, I've been in such huge slump. I haven't been feeling the best either. I've had the worst migraines lately. Today, thankfully, I have a reprieve from that, so I wanted to film a video while I could. But the Heartless Hunter, I really want to get to this. I think it's a witch and a witch hunter romance, kind of like Serpent and Dove, which I really liked. Now, if you just plain romance, contemporary romances, Last Call at the Local. I picked this up on Blackwell's. I don't really know anything about it. I found out it's like a second in a series, but I think you can read them as standalones. It's about a girl who goes to Scotland or somewhere like that, and she opens up a bar with this guy, or helps this guy fix up his bar. I'm not sure, but I loved the cover and the synopsis sucked me in, so I ended up buying it. The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. I've read every Sarah Adams book, and I've loved them all. My favorite is probably her most recent one, Practice Makes Perfect. That one is probably my favorite out of all of hers. I really like the cheat sheet as well. It was really good. But yeah, so The Rule Book, it's about a girl. I think it's actually a sequel to The Cheat Sheet, if I'm not mistaken. It's about a girl who works for like a reporter or something like that helps out the NFL, and this NFL player is her ex, and she has to work with him, and they end up falling back in love. The Dead Romantics. I haven't read this yet. I also have the 7-Year Slip. I've heard really good things about both books, but I wanted to start with the first one, and I'm excited. It's about a girl who can see ghosts, and then she falls in love with a ghost. Abby Jimenez, the Just for the Summer. I've read every Abby Jimenez book. All of them have been 5 stars. She's one of my favorite romance authors. 4 dates, a kiss, and a breakup. That's all it will take to find their soulmate. I think it's kind of like a Good Luck Chuck. Is that the name of the movie? Where the guy, like, falls in love with these girls, and then they fall out of love with him and then find their true love. So it's like that. And both of them are cursed, kind of. Cursed. Or they think they're cursed. And anytime they date someone, that person breaks up with them and then finds their soulmate. So they end up, I think, fake dating each other or dating each other to see if they can fix their curse. The last two. So we have A Fate Inked in Blood by Daniel L. Jensen. I've never read a Daniel L. Jensen book before. Also, look at these sprayed pages. I got this off Amazon. I can't believe Amazon is doing like such cool books now. Anyways, so once again, I know it's like Nordic, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know anything else about it. I've just heard it's really, really, really good. It says, her fate is inked in her blood, it's carved in her bones, the power is Feyre's destiny. So, I don't know. Sounds cool. I've heard great things, so I want to give it a shot. And then my last one is Lisa Jewell, None of This Is True. I've read 2 Lisa Jewells. Both of them I have loved. I read Then She Disappeared, which was my first Lisa Jewell, and it was amazing. One of the best thrillers I've ever read. And then, oh, I can't remember the other one. It was about a lady whose daughter goes missing. Then She Was Gone. That's what it was called. Lisa Jewell, Then She Was Gone. But did I say that wrong? So the first one was Lisa Jewell, The Night She Disappeared. The second one was Then She Was Gone. The Night She Disappeared is one of my favorite thrillers of all time. Then She Was Gone was also amazing. Loved it. I thought it was really, really, really good. And it kind of scared me a little bit, honestly, but it was just such a good thriller. So I would really like to read None of This Is True. I've heard it's great. And it has a podcast element, which I really enjoy in my thrillers. I liked Sadie. That's one of my favorite thrillers I've ever read. And then the Rachel Price, The Disappearance of Rachel Price that I started the other day also has a podcast element. So I think this will be really, really good. But yeah, if there's any of these books that you guys think I should pick up first, please let me know. If there's any books that y'all think would get me out of a reading slump, I would really appreciate it. I just want something really fast-paced, and that's going to suck me in immediately. That's what I need, because otherwise I'm just putting them down and not picking them back up, and I hate that. But yeah, so let me know if there's any recommendations or any of these that you would like me to pick up first, and I will see you guys later. Have a good day.